When we get the jazz hands going, there we go. There goes jazz hands. Babyface doing the babyface jazz hands. We are live. We are live. I hope you got your big girl panties on, babyface. Do you have your babyface big girl panties on?
Always. They're always on.
Okay, cool.
I only have one pair, though, so they're getting a little dirty.
You only have one pair of panties? That is what my mother called a dutty glamour. You ever heard of that?
No, I have no idea what that is.
Well, in relationship to panties, that's like a girl that just has one pair of panties, doesn't wash them all the time.
Yeah,
they look cute.
That's me.
Yeah. We're live. This is episode 216 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. Otherwise, aka also known as Panty Patrol. And we're in the building. It's Babyface and myself today. We are supposed to be having Brian from Utah Gun Exchange. He's supposed to come on. We sent out everything to him. I'm not sure what's up with him. Anything could be happening. He could be getting arrested yet again. We were talking about him yesterday about the protest in New York. I don't know if you heard about that.
No. So I don't think I know the guest.
Oh, okay.
So right. I'm gonna have to. Was he on YouTube or like?
I think Brian owns Utah Gun Exchange, and he has this thing called UGETUBE. So he was supposed to be coming on tonight. I'm trying to figure out whether or not we're going to get him. If not, maybe we'll get someone else to come on, or maybe it'll just be us. And we obviously will have to change the title of this because we can't talk about UGETUBE. Although I'm looking in the chat and I do see the guy from Gunstreamer is in the chat, which is another video platform. You've heard of these video platforms, right?
I have no idea. No.
Oh, okay.
UGETUBE? Right. Nope, haven't heard of it.
Huge.
UGE, it looks like.
Yeah, UGE. Yes, that's one. And then Gunstreamer is another one. And I see the guy from Gunstreamer is in the chat. I don't know. Lola. Let me see. Lola. Yeah, Gunstreamer's in the chat. Let's see if we can get him on. Maybe we can have like the platforms versus each other, or we can get him. I have no idea. We
were talking about this today. The ICANN, they've released like 1,500 top level domains. I just don't see it taken off as gunstreamers.com unless it's like gunstreamers.porn or gunstreamers.hank.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what are you talking about? Are you talking about the Gunstreamer thing specifically?
You didn't listen to what I said.
No, sorry.
It's all right. No. Yeah, so I've never looked at their site. I'm guessing a work in progress. Doesn't look bad though.
Yeah. I think what's happening is, necessity is the mother of invention. So there's people out there. We're trying to build platforms. There's several of them out there, as we know. I'm on. You're aware of this. I'm on Full 30. Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of different platforms going on. There's Gunstreamer, there's UGETUBE, there's a few other ones. Yeah, right now, this is the wild, wild west, man. Who knows how this is going to settle out? What's going to happen in America? We got like a new person who's going to be taking a seat on the Supreme Court.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
So are we getting into that straight away, or do you want to?
You know what? Yes, I think we can get into a bunch of things today. There's several things that I want to talk about. Lots of different things going on here. So you know what? I'm gonna shout out real quick everyone that's in the chat. Thanks for you guys being in the chat. I see E-Rock, Christopher William, Richard Hughes. Speaking of huge, Richard Hughes is in there. STL Storm Spotter, Corey Williams, Sergeant Poppy. Let's see who else. I edit my sub MOAAK, Magnum Boys, Chris Bullis, the Archangel, Armament and Axes, of course, and All Thumbs as well. Boss Hog, Vanessa Kitty, all the usual suspects in the chat today. Shout out to all those guys, especially because they're always here when we're doing this. And if I don't start it, they're like, dude, what's up? Where you at? What's going on? I see Rodney Brady, Mike Bryant, tacos and French fries. Gunstreamer, as I said, I see him in there. Justin E as well, which I think I just shouted out. Ridge Runner, Charles Grab the third, it looks like. Brian Quick, Moo Butt, Kenny Van Cleve, Special K, Jerry Woodman, CB, Let's see who else. I don't want to miss anyone here. Robert Rodriguez, Midnight Range, TM, Joe Carpenter, Watson Howard, John Brown. I think that's it. If I missed anyone, let me know. I'll definitely shout you out so we can jump into some stuff. See Jumper Killer, QX, the Anku, the Pants, etc. All the good names, all the people with the best names are in the chat right now. If you guys can, please hit the thumbs ups. We'll get to some like personal news going on here. You weren't here yesterday.
No, I was not.
Yeah, you did come by. Did you come by and visit me yesterday or today? Because I can't remember now.
No, that was today during lunch.
That was today. Okay.
Did you like take a nap in between and it feels like yesterday?
No, but just so many things going through my brain. I can't remember. So I don't know if you know this, Babyface, because, well, the Lifestyles of the Locked and Loaded, the channel's been here for a while, right? But do you remember we started using it that day when YouTube pulled us off air when we were going live on regular Hank Strange channel? This was the B channel. We didn't really use it, but we had it here. We jumped over here. Well, finally, YouTube has approved us for monetization.
Wow, that's good. So are people seeing ads now?
There should be.
Is my face, is there an ad right now?
I don't know. I know.
In the background?
Might be something over here. Click on it. Open it in another way. I don't know. So we got monetized. So that's a good thing. Hopefully that'll help grow the channel. If anyone's watching and you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. You have to hit the notification button. And then inside of the notification button, they've split it. So there's multiple kinds of notifications, and you have to switch it to all.
It's turning into like, are you sure you want to subscribe? Are you sure? You sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Really? These guys? Yeah. Shout out to 904 Outdoors. He says what's up to you.
What's up?
Well, 904 is in the chat. So with that, we've got super chat going as well. So now we got super chat turned back on. That's a cool thing. We'll have some advertisements coming into the channel and all that. Lola and I are going to start doing a little bit of organization here to separate things. I think going forward, you'll probably only be able to find the complete live broadcast that we cut out the audio and all that on Lifestyles of the Locked and Loaded. But we're going to sort all of that out. So that's just some housekeeping stuff as well. And also today, Mike from ATI Outdoors, a video went live on Hank Strange. Speaking of Hank Strange, video went live of him shooting Sten gun for the first time.
That is it's a real treat, getting to shoot something like that.
Yeah, it's fun. But you know what? I think what's different from a lot of videos, and I always try to leave in mess ups in the video, especially when you mess up. I always think that's amusing. Just like you think it's amusing when I mess up. What the hell happened to? Speaking of mess ups, Babyface just somehow ejected his own self from the chat. So he'll probably be back here in a second. So anyway, like I said, what happened to you?
I pressed the wrong button.
Oh, yeah. So I left in stuff that happened with the Sten gun because sometimes it's the ammo, as Walter says, and you gotta load it properly. Run into a bunch of different things, right? So I don't know if that is just open bolt stuff that you get that a lot with.
I don't really know. Every time I've run an open bolt gun, it's always been finicky. This is the best way to put it. Because I think way back when, it's the Sten's 9mm. So I think they ran the 9mm that they used was like a hotter loading. It's like SMG ammo. SMG 9mm is hotter than regular. So if you run it with just regular ammo, sometimes it's a little finicky.
Okay.
Did you guys have it cycle quicker? Because we've had a Sten that goes.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember which one. By the way, we have Austin is joining us. He's from Gunstreamer. So there he goes. Look at that. He's prepared. He's got a Gunstreamer t-shirt on. He's getting set up. I don't know if he can hear us. Can you hear us good?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Good. Awesome. All right. Great. If you got any little setup things to do, go ahead and do that. Let me finish this. Like my stream of consciousness, really quick. You know what's really frustrating? And I was trying to capture a little bit of that with the Sten gun video, and Babyface knows this. All the setup that we have to do to shoot video is sometimes really annoying. Like if we're trying to get high speed video or we're trying to get it from this special angle.
Yeah.
So when you do all that setup and then the gun just goes click,
Yes.
you know, or it just sputters a couple times, it's like, it's frustrating. You've been there a lot. So I don't know. Have you ever been there? Austin, right?
Yeah, it's Austin.
Yes, Austin. Okay.
Yeah.
So have you ever been there, man? You know, trying to make the videos and things don't cooperate, you're not having a good day?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so you know what? Let's introduce you to the folks out there. Tell us who you are and what you represent here.
Okay. Name is Austin Roberts. We actually are also based out of Utah.
Utah's trying to take over, man. What the hell is going on?
Yeah, you know, it was really kind of a coincidence, actually. But yeah, so about this title.
Yes. Oh yeah. I know. We'll change. We'll have to change the title here. I don't know what's happening. We were gonna have, you know, you guys don't have beef or anything like that with the UGETUBE guys, do you?
No.
Okay.
No,
All right. Cool.
a couple times.
Yeah. Okay.
Stand up
Awesome.
guys. So.
Yes. Okay. Cool. We'll I'll work on that while we're talking here.
Oh, you're fine. I was just kind of messing with you.
Right now, if Brian is looking, he's like, what? What the hell's going on? Listen, man, this is show business. The show must go on. So we're doing the show, and you've been in the chat for the last couple of days. So
yeah,
you know, we've been trying to make it happen.
It's been kind of a nice little break. You know, here in Utah, we hit 5 o'clock. Jump on to the Hank Strange show and take a little break from work.
Okay, cool. So why don't you explain to myself and Babyface? So you probably never met him either. This is Babyface.
Hi, Babyface.
I don't know if you can tell why we call him Babyface, but someone asked me the other day, like, why the hell does Babyface have a beard? And,
Marley won't let me shave it, and I think it looks better, so it's staying.
yeah, because they're saying that I guess someone should not be named Babyface and have a beard. But you know, anyway, so Austin, explain to us what Gunstreamer is and how it started, and you know, exactly what purpose you guys hope to serve.
Okay. So yeah, we have really just sort of been hobbyists, and the YouTube changes that have been coming, it just kind of, the site, the platform had been kind of an idea, a hobby maybe, that we were working on. And then when March came and YouTube announced eating greater restrictions, we just decided we had to hit the ground running. So, you know, there he is.
Oh.
Okay, hold on a second. I just joined another thing.
Oh boy.
What is going on?
This is so much fun.
Crashing the show.
Hey, Austin, how you doing, brother?
Brian, what's up, man?
Yeah, I just got kicked out of the March for Our Lives event in Clearwater, Florida.
Oh.
Yeah, we showed up there with our Bearcat and everything, and they didn't know what to do with themselves. And finally, you know, we're out there shaking hands, and everybody's looking at us like we're crazy. And finally, they come out and say, "How the property owners asked you to leave."
Oh wow. Okay.
Cameras running and everything. So then I said, "Well, yeah, you know, every time we have rallies, everybody's invited. Every time you guys have rallies, only you're invited." And then all of a sudden they want us to come back. So we worked something out, actually. I told them tomorrow we're going to come early, 2 hours early in Kissimmee. And then we're going to have a dialogue with every one of those kids.
Oh, good luck.
Record it.
Oh, okay, cool. So you're in Clearwater.
Yeah, we're going to be Utah Gun Exchange. We're in Florida. We're mobile. We have our videography group. We're on the ground participating with the March for Our Lives at every event as they go county by county. You know, I mean, the mission there is, you know, obvious. They're trying to sign up voters and get this state turned blue. So we need to be there to, you know, send a different message. And I tell you what, if you sign up to vote with UtahGunExchange.com, you get to sign our Bearcat too.
Okay, cool. We were thinking you got arrested or something. So
no, that was the other day.
Yeah, that's it. You were in New York City. So we'll talk about that. I don't know how much time you have. Is it possible that you could turn your camera sideways. That way we can get the full. There you go. Awesome. Awesome.
How's
Okay.
that?
Yeah. Good. Good. So so you're gonna have some time, right?
Yeah, we're driving to an RV park now, so we got quite a while.
Okay, cool. And yes, he's definitely in an armored vehicle. We could see that. All right. So before you came on, Austin was explaining what Gunstreamer is. So I'm going to let him do that, and then we'll come back to you, and you know, you can explain to us what you guys are doing, if that's okay.
Yeah, fantastic.
Okay. All right.
Austin's a good guy.
Absolutely. That's what he was saying about you. All right. So yeah. So Austin, go ahead, man. Sorry about that. Explain to us what Gunstreamer is and how you started doing that.
Yeah, so we were looking to just kind of find a place, right? We were looking to find a place where anyone can come, you know, and it doesn't have to be strictly guns. I know that you asked that on a previous video. You know, we have other videos from hunting, you know, prepping, outdoorsmanship, anything like that, and that's all welcome here. Just, you know, the main point is that we wanted a platform where the views, the political views or what have you, don't come into play on, you know, how we operate the business and how we treat our content creators, right? And that's the most important thing to us, is, you know, providing a home for the content creators. Obviously, the viewers are great. The content creators bring them with them, but, you know, that's our main focus. A platform that is as comfortable for people to use as YouTube.
Okay.
So we're building towards that. We're working very, very hard on that every day. So, you know, that's kind of where it all started. We launched late March, March 26th. We were lucky enough to get an app on the Apple Store and the Android Store, you know, not too long after that, maybe a month or two. So.
Okay. Very cool. All right. So, and then obviously with you guys, Brian, I know that you've got Utah Gun Exchange. You also have UGETUBE. How did you start that?
Well, it's a long story. I mean, Utah Gun Exchange, my business partner and I, friends of over 30 years, we got involved in that business. We bought it from the original founders because, you know, frankly, we're out doing business and doing things legitimately and being squeezed out of business by federal regulations. And we just said, you know, we've had enough of this crap. We got out of our existing business and went out and bought Utah Gun Exchange and said, you know, we're going to spend the rest of our lives spreading freedom.
Okay.
And so one of the things, just like Austin was saying, is that anytime you, sorry, shit. What
Okay.
happened there?
That's cool. Take your time. We understand. This is how it goes down. This is what freedom looks like.
Just like Austin was saying, you know, if you are in our industry, what you know is that you cannot rely on traditional social media in order to maintain communications with your customer base. So you have to have alternative means of communication. For us, that meant we wanted to do big things when it comes to protecting, preserving, and enhancing freedom in the United States. UGETUBE, along with UGEMart, which is our next product, were conceived of, you know, before they launched, actually in 2017. We were on a slow boat to China when it comes to launching those products, but as soon as the YouTube announcement came out, then we put it in turbo and launched UGETUBE. Austin happened to be doing the same thing just a few miles from us, and so we're both kind of warriors in you know, in our own ways and doing a similar thing. The Utah Gun Exchange, soon to be United Gun Exchange, mission is to bring products and services and advertising back to the Second Amendment community. And the simplest way to say that is, when was the last time you were surfing the internet and you saw a banner ad pop up that said, hey, HK's got a new gun out, you got to click here to take a look at this? The answer to that question is never. And that's what we're going to bring to the internet.
Okay. Yeah, and I think this kind of, Austin, you can feel free to jump in here anytime, Babyface or whoever. I think all of this stuff kind of like crashed together at the same time, right? YouTube's coming down on people where they've been doing it for a while, and lots of people like, man, getting tired of this. It's like we're trying to push what is that saying? We're trying to push a snowball uphill.
I've not heard that.
Yeah, some kind, I don't know, well, something like that, or trying to push a boulder uphill. I think it's just people feel really frustrated with the way that everything's going. This is stuff that's protected by the Constitution. Everything we're doing, we're doing it legally. We're businessmen. We're respectful. We're safe. All that kind of stuff. But we keep getting rocks thrown at us, and so I think to me it's not. I'm not surprised that so many people are starting to do things like this at the same time. Do you guys, obviously it seems to me like you guys get along. Do you guys see somewhere in the future maybe these things join up, or is there a place for everything to exist and people to be able to do what they want to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the answer to that question is that, maybe. We've been talking, of course. Austin is a talented man, and we have talented folks on our side. I'll tell you, to be honest, right now, we're out raising capital to fund this company because the opportunities are just like crazy limitless. I mean, the things the Make America Great Again community, and that's not our only demographic, but this demographic, basically those that have been labeled deplorables, these people are hungry for a place where they feel accepted. And, Austin and us and other people like us, that's what we provide. And only, we feel like at Utah Gun Exchange, soon to be United Gun Exchange, we have a very large vision, and I think it'd be fantastic if we wind up working together with Austin at some time in the future.
Okay, cool. Austin, what do you say to that question, and then also what Brian just said?
Well, to the question, absolutely. I think that like you said, the opportunities are coming up all over the place, and there are opportunities that are coming up sort of because we're forced to do this, right? We're forced to find a place. We're forced to find new ways of doing things for the community. And I think that the more that we can work together, the better, right? We don't want to take our community and break them into little pieces, right? Mm-hmm. We don't want to fragment the market. We want to be united. We want to build something for us together that everyone can enjoy, that everyone, whoever wants to be a part of it, absolutely, I think we can work together. And just to what Brian and his team are working on and what he said, it's spot on. They're all working very hard. All of us are working really hard, but yeah, absolutely. I think there's a way that many of us in the community can work together for the interests of all of us.
Yeah. You know what? I think, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I didn't get an opportunity to thank you, but one of the ways that we do this, you guys that are hosting this podcast, that we are helping each other is by doing things like this and talking amongst each other and trying to spread each other's word. The fact is that media ignores the efforts that we go through. It's crazy, and we can't advertise the way other people can. You can't even put freaking AdWords on our websites and make money. The whole system's designed to make it difficult for us, and it is difficult. And so the only way we're going to get this whole thing going back on track is by getting together and for the common good. I think competition's great. I think we can be co-operators, and it's fantastic.
Yeah. Listen, I think from my point of view, kind of what you guys are talking about is what I'm trying to do as well, right? Everyone has their own interests. Everyone's, affiliated with this thing or that thing, but ultimately we're all in the same boat. If we lose our rights to the Second Amendment, we're all going down the drain. Not just even us gun guys. I think lots of America is going down the drain, in my personal opinion, right? I know some people don't agree with that. I think when we lose that, we lose freedom. in a big way. It's what separates us at this point from the rest of the world. And if we don't get together, if we do this where we're kind of like crabs in a barrel and we're fighting each other and destroying each other, it's not going to help. So even from my part, I think it's, you know, it's my responsibility to get out there and listen to what other people are doing and expose, you know, whatever audience I have, whoever listens to me, to the options that exist out there.
Yeah. Hey, you know, this Second Amendment outreach has been just, you know, an absolute joy for us. So a couple things about what you just said. I think you're exactly right. Those people who would seek to disarm themselves or disarm others, you know, they are the people that need us the most. They know not what they do. I mean, when all else fails, you have a Second Amendment. So, you know, there used to be this process, you know, called natural selection. We don't have that anymore. You never disarm. That's unnatural. The other thing is that, you know, carrying a firearm in the defense of others and yourself, it's an act of love. Let me tell you, you know, we went to this LGBT parade in New York City, and I talked to so many people that are part of that community. I got to tell you, I got no problem representing that I believe that the majority of the LGBT community, contrary to popular belief, is pro-Second Amendment. And the reason I say that is because these people are passionate about their love for their partners. They'll do anything to protect them. And then when you start talking about that, all of a sudden, boy, they become real pro-Second Amendment. It's, hell yes, baby, I want it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. I know I've seen that. I've actually been at YouTube events where I was talking to people that represent the LGBT community and talking to them about guns. You know, they asked me what I do. I said, I do guns. And they're like, yeah, we're into guns. Well, we need those too. People come after us,
Yeah.
you know? So they realize that they have, you know, everyone has the right to exist and be who they are and believe what they believe and live how they want to live if they're not hurting other people. And if other people try to hurt them, they also have the right to defend themselves against that. You know,
Yeah.
so someone wants to know if you're in the Bearcat. I'm going
We
to
are
say,
in the Bearcat.
yeah, there you
And
go.
this,
That's
you
what it
can-
looks like on the inside.
I can give you a look. You can kind of see you're looking at the rear there.
Yeah.
Normally, when you have that view, you're in handcuffs. Not in
Yeah.
our case.
Yeah, I can hear a
Most of the
police
time,
scanner or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, when you have that view in here, you either have a beer in your hand or you're having a good time.
Okay,
or-
it looks good.
This is my my partner and girlfriend Marie, and she's been
Okay.
with us every step of the way. And then
Okay.
out front here, we've got a 1-ton Ford truck, and we got a 30-foot work trailer out there. We have you can see it up there in front of us. We've got our entire videography crew on the road here with us. And if you go to UGETUBE.com, you can see those professional short film documentaries that we're putting up there. And also we're broadcasting live, of course, on Facebook. And that's where you can go and see all those exciting, you know, things happening in New York. You know, guys, I never got arrested in New York. Our civil rights have been violated 6 ways from sideways.
Yeah, that's pretty much how New York runs. I thought you weren't arrested, but you were technically arrested. We were reading the article yesterday. So were you put in handcuffs? Were you taken down to a precinct?
Yes. So
Okay.
bottom line, what happened was, you know, they swarmed in around 4 o'clock. Once their lawyers figured out how to get rid of us, they took the replica firearm off the roof of the Bearcat. They then climbed in the Bearcat, got the keys somehow, drove away with it, didn't ask us or anything. They took all of our camera equipment and our news equipment and our film and our footage. I mean, can you imagine the NYPD hooking up to a News 5 New York news van and pulling it away? That's what they did to us. Then they grabbed my arm, started walking me toward the car and said, you got to come down to the station. I said, are you taking me into custody? They wouldn't answer. And then I said, well, I'm filming this. And I started a film on my camera. They grabbed the camera out of my hand, put me in handcuffs, shoved me in the car, took me down to the station, cleaned me out of everything in my pockets, my jewelry, threw me in the slammer for 2 hours. They all went outside and took pictures of themselves with the Bearcat.
Of course.
Yeah. I'm sitting in the jail cell in the NYPD 6th district right next to the lobby, and I can hear this cop out there saying, "Hey man, there's a new Bearcat out there. Oh, I want a photo of that. Let's go." It's my Bearcat, and I'm sitting in their jail cells. They took it illegally.
Yeah, life has its twists and turns. Life has its twists and turns. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay. So, Austin, I didn't want to, not give you an opportunity to jump in here, man. I don't know if you had something you wanted to say.
Oh, that's fine. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So I think I'm getting a whole bunch of questions for you guys. I'll start with Austin on this one. How exactly are you guys funding these platforms, Austin?
So I am basically funding the site personally myself. And it hasn't been cheap, to say the least. So we just as well as Brian are, sort of getting ourselves into the sort of investment phase. We've built some media kits. We've got some content together for that, and I have some high hopes. We've done pretty well in the past few months, and I think it shows a lot. So I think we're going to be okay. I will be able to continue to fund this if need be, for as long as it takes.
Okay, cool. I mean, this is obviously a very expensive endeavor for anyone to undertake. So before I go to Brian, I want you to answer that same question. Armament and Axes gave us $5. He says his comment is brown shirt Gestapo. And then he's got a bunch of question marks and exclamation marks and stuff like that. That's pretty much that's been going on in New York for a long time. Those guys really don't give a crap about the Constitution or anything else. So, Brian, how are you guys funding UGETUBE?
Same thing, man. I'll tell you, it's beastly. I think Austin is deploying his technology, however he's doing that, and we're deploying it, utilizing some technologies and choices we've made. I don't know which way is the best way to go, but I know that, basically I've bet my whole life on freedom. That's where I'm at. Every dime of profit that I made in my prior ventures with my partner and everything, it's been sunk into this. You can't even believe it. I mean, in order to stream this video to people, on basically slow connections, you've got it. You're into this thing, $2 million a year. That's just to keep the doors open. And in this world, you have to stream YouTube quality, or people don't want to watch. Mm-hmm. And so I think Austin and I are probably experiencing a lot of the same. You look at this stuff and you say, God, I would give anything to deliver a quality product to our community today that meets and exceeds everybody's expectations. And then there's the realities behind doing that, and they're incredibly challenging. Yeah. So I think we're both looking at it. We're saying, man, we want to do this, but we're going to need some help. I mean, we're going to need some bridge money. It's crazy.
Yeah, everyone in the community wants it. People keep saying, "Oh, we should do this thing. It should be this thing." The one thing about everything in life, it costs. One way or the other, it costs. There's nothing that's free. Someone has to pay for it. Someone has to put up their money. People are taking huge risks. They can totally lose on this one, which is more likely than winning. That's how it goes in any business that you do. It's a very expensive endeavor.
Yeah, dude. But the thing is you look at what's happening with Austin and us, man. We can't fail. This is it. It's like we got Donald Trump in office. We have the winds of conservatism at our backs right now. It's like this is the time. And, failure is not an option. So I got to tell you, man, I have no pride in anything. We just want to build these platforms and bring to this industry access to products and services and video, and we want people to be able to broadcast freedom without fear of political bias or anything. And we just need people to reach out to us and say, hey, I'm a rich patriot and I want to join your cause. That's what we need.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Listen.
Wait, where are those people?
Yeah.
I used to be one of them. Sam, my partner.
I think there's levels of wealth here we're talking about. Look, you've got a beautiful woman sitting right next to you. If you don't have anything else, that's incredibly wealthy, right? That's a big deal right there. And then the levels go up from that, right?
Yes.
So there's lots of different levels. So let me ask you guys, and I'll start with Austin again, and then we'll come back. Babyface, I think you've got some input on this, Babyface. So if you want to, you can jump in here. Austin, what do you guys offer the content creators that are coming to the platform, and how many content creators do you have at this time that are on your platform?
Okay, so the site, I think, and this is something I kind of hit on a little earlier, is the goal, and this is my drive right now, is to get content creators and visitors alike as comfortable with using our platform as they are with technologies they know today, right? So what we have to offer is, I mean, we have a pretty close to YouTube experience if we're talking YouTube years ago, and we're doing our best every day to close that gap to where we get the technology, we get the sophistication that YouTube's at. Obviously, we can't just do it overnight, and we can't do it cheaply, right? They've spent millions and millions of dollars on their platform. They have thousands of developers, right? So it's a really tough thing to do, but at the same time, it's a balancing act. There's just this circle of life in this business, and every one of the little needs have to be met. We have the content creators. That, to answer your next question real quick, we have close to 250 content creators right now that are all primarily focused in the firearms, hunting, outdoors range, right? And reloading, etc. That's the number we're at right now. We have tens of thousands of videos up, and we are constantly tweaking our service every day. For our content creators, just this week, we launched the ability for content creators to unlist their videos or make them private completely. And that's just one thing out of things that we do every week to make things better for the user. Obviously, we have the app. The focus is making them comfortable, right? And it's something that we're just going to have to keep growing and growing and growing. We can't get the viewership that YouTube has overnight, And so obviously the next big step, or the next big question mark, is monetization. So our entire team is focused on the monetization aspect right now. We're going to get something for the content creators as soon as we can. If we're not taking any of that money. That money is for the content creators. They're basically the core of our business right now. They're the fuel, really. So that's our focus. That's kind of where we're at today. As far as the platform goes, we have some little features that are really nice. We make it really easy for like YouTube content creators to move their library over. We did for someone recently, one channel, we imported 1,000 videos, and those videos were hosted by our site in an hour. The videos themselves were hosted on our site. All of the descriptions come over, all of the titles and tags come over, the whole video comes over. 1,000 videos, we did that in an hour, and from that point on, those videos were safe from YouTube. YouTube has no control over them, right? So we make it super easy for someone to come over to YouTube, and then we get, as close to the YouTube experience as we can with the app, the site. So it's an ever-growing process, but trust me, we are making big strides.
Yeah. Okay. And I've got Clover Tack on here, who's one of your streamers, and he says it's very apparent the focus of Gunstreamer is the creators, and they love it. We've got lots of people here in the chat. You guys should ask me questions right now, because I've got these two pioneers right here, these entrepreneurs that are putting their blood, sweat, and tears into building something that you guys all say that you want. I think this is a good opportunity for people out there that have questions to ask me those questions. Ryan, we're going to go to you, man. So what are you guys offering the content creators?
Yeah, like Austin said, man, it's an ecosystem that has to have balance. You got to bring both the viewers and the content creators, and hopefully you can bring content creators that that bring different audiences too, because a lot of what the Gunstreamers like is they want to reach out to new audiences, and that's one of the reasons why they like YouTube, is because there's so much new audience available out there.
Yeah, instead of being a limited pond of just gun guys or just motorcycle guys or cigar or whatever, it's like the whole ocean of everyone, right?
Yeah, UGETUBE is everything, and I know, and Austin has some ideas about his platform doing that there as well. UGETUBE is open to everything, not just guns. Our motto is broadcast freedom, and our mission is to deliver a YouTube quality experience without fear of demonetization. We feel like YouTube will eventually host all sorts of content that is never seen before content, because people don't have to play the demonetization game when they create their content. Now, when you say, well, what are you bringing to content creators? Okay, I mean, what does a content creator get from Gunstreamer or UGETUBE right now? They get to post their content without fear that it'll be deleted. That's a pretty good damn thing right now, because a lot of these guys have invested years of their lives in these channels, and what YouTube is doing to them is not right. So now it's difficult to pay content creators without advertising, and like I said, we cannot utilize any advertising program or advertising platforms. They all shy away from the content. So we have to create our own advertising platforms, and that means we need advertisers to come to us.
You need the firearms industry, right? You need the firearms industry to get. You guys need the firearms industry, right? Manufacturers, all that kind of stuff to somehow get involved in this, and maybe stop sitting on the sidelines.
That's right. And so dynamic. I mean, you can't believe this. Do you guys know that Google controls 85% of the advertising seen on the internet globally, and they exclude firearms content? So that means that 85% of the world's internet traffic is not seeing advertisements for our products and services. That's what we need to change. But it's going to be a massive endeavor to create that advertising platform. But you know what? The demographic that we're advertising to is considered by most to be the most attractive demographic on the face of the earth, because it primarily consists of middle-aged men and women who are shopping for expensive toys utilizing disposable income. And they're very loyal to these products and services. They consider these products and services part of the exercise of their constitutional rights. They're very loyal. So it's a great idea for advertisers to come to platforms like Gunstreamer or UGETUBE, because you have the richest audience on earth, right? And nobody's advertising to them.
Right. So have you guys reached out to the firearms industry? Have you spoken to companies? You don't have to say names and stuff like that. I just want to know what kind of feedback you're getting. You know,
Yes,
what's the likelihood of getting these guys on board?
The feedback that we get is, I love you guys, and I love every single thing that I hear. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, give us your budget. Oh, what budget?
I'm just laughing because, yeah, that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, you know, the opportunities are there, man. I mean, they're there for you. All know it. We all know it. The opportunities are there. It's just going to take some time. It's going to take some bridge capital. It's going to take salesmanship, business development. It's going to take work. And that's what we're out doing.
Yeah, I think one of the things, I know this from my side of the table where I sit dealing with manufacturers, is that I think budget-wise, there's someone over there who usually has a handle on the marketing budget. That guy gets that budget. He spends it at a certain time of the year. They put that money out there. It's not a thing that they do all through the year. I think they need to change that plan. You know, it's kind of an old school plan. I guess what they used to do is just take all that money and throw it into magazines, because they couldn't do TV, really couldn't do a lot of TV advertising or radio advertising. And I think that kind of needs to change. But and then I think the other thing as well is you guys need to look at people outside of the firearms industry to advertise, because as you're saying, this is a segment of people that other industries want to advertise to.
Yeah. We've been looking in a lot of our viewers. Major percent of our viewers are, also really into automobiles. Cars, tuning, that kind of stuff. We're reaching out to that crowd as well, and it's just hard because touching back on that ecosystem thing, we can't get advertisers unless we're big, huge mega sites, right? And then we can't get a mega huge site without content creators. And if we don't have content creators, we don't have viewers. We need all three of those things to work. And we need a little bit of patience. We need some time. We're throwing everything we can into this. We're gonna keep building it no matter what. But that ecosystem needs to be there, and we need to nurture it and feed it and help work it all together so that it all makes sense for everyone. That's not an easy thing to do.
So when you guys look at this, how does that pie chart break out? What's more important? Do you think content creators or the actual eyeballs of people watching stuff, advertisers? How do you think that all figures out?
That's a good question, actually.
I think how it all fares out is you got to fight for every single one of them. You just do as much as you can.
Yeah, I was going to say something to that effect as well. But, our content creators need to know that we're here, right? I'm so glad to be on the show so they can put a face, they can see, kind of what I've got in mind, answer some questions, because they need to know that we're here, that they can work with us. We're not a mega corporation that's going to ignore your needs, right? Your needs are the most important thing to me. And so, we can work with you. And we've worked with a few content creators on our site that have brought mega loads of traffic to the site. Just a few content creators, out of hundreds. So, if everyone here knows that we're going to work with you, we're going to work on your problems, you let us know what you need, and, we'll rearrange the priorities if we need to. That's the thing is, I think all of the content creators are important. I think all of the viewers are important, but the way that we approach this whole scenery is key. I think bringing these people in and making it work.
Yeah. Did you want to add anything to that, Brian?
No, he's right. I mean, the whole thing is challenging. Look, I look at it this way. What Austin and Utah Gun Exchange, Gunstreamer are doing, guys, is revolutionizing it. These two things have the opportunity to revolutionize the Second Amendment industry in the United States. We need to become modernized. The way that the industry operates is you basically open a brick and mortar store and you hope you're going to sell enough to cover your costs. Well, that's not the way that our economy works anymore, and so we have to change that. And, I don't see any other way to do it than just to bust your butt.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of hard work. I mean, here's the way that I look at it. I think that first you need to have the platform, right? You need to have the platform. That's an incredibly important thing. Lots of people looking for that. That platform, obviously, if you're, unless you're getting some like Elon Musk, Bill Gates, or whoever's got the deep pockets out there kind of money, you have to start it maybe small, focused, and then try to grow it out from there. Once you have the platform, you obviously need content. So you need the creators to come there, but you can have all this content. If no one looks at it, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. If you have lots of eyeballs, if the community, if the people out there that say they need this actually bring their eyeballs, it's like just a click. It's not that they have to physically walk down the street, or get on a bus, get on a train and drive anywhere. It's a click difference that they need to make. But once they start doing that, then I think that the industry, the advertisers out there will come to realize that they don't have a choice. That they have to go, that they have to come to these platforms.
Well, and you're right. Bottom line is our industry, the consumers in our industry. I'm one of them. You're one of them. We all want to buy this stuff. I mean, and we all want to support merchants in our industry, and we all want to buy American. I think it's a match made in heaven. It's just going to take a lot of work, and we're on the right track, all of us here. I think we just have to keep working together, and we're doing the right things out there, man. And what's funny, I noticed too, is like we just left this March for Our Lives event. There's another one going on in parallel that's nationwide that our company is going to be intersecting with on July 14th in Utah. And Austin, help us get the word out on that. Get in touch with Joe. But anyway, the left, man, the people on the left and the messages on the left, they're so well funded, it's unbelievable. And then you got people like us in Austin are out there scratching the surface, trying to, licking our boots, trying to squeeze every penny to get by. And these people on the left, man, these operations are multi-million-dollar operations they're funding. This March for Our Lives thing, man, we do events in Utah. I know what it costs to put on an event. You look at this March for Our Lives, man, this is an anti-Second Amendment rally everywhere they go. This is a multi-million-dollar operation, man. It's insane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you, but I think that, the righteous fight, I don't know any other way to put this. The righteous fight is always the hardest one. Sometimes in life, that maybe it's the wrong thing when it's so easy and everyone's like, oh, we're putting money behind this. Why? Why are they funding? Why are they funding this so much? Why are they putting so much behind it? It's always going to be a difficult fight, but you got to stay in there and actually do it and fight the fight. And it's sometimes your salvation takes a long time to get here. Look, I was looking at the news today. Did you guys see that Trump pardoned the ranchers? Did you guys see that?
The what?
From Oregon, the ranchers. You remember this? Remember the whole thing?
Oh. Yeah, go ahead. Tell me about that.
So the Cliven Bundy, remember that? Yeah. The whole Bundy Ranch thing, everything that went down there. So Trump today pardoned those guys.
Oh.
That's something that seemed like it would be impossible a couple of years ago, right? When you're looking at all this stuff. Yeah. If you just rewind 2 years ago, you're like, what? That'll never happen. And lots of bad things happened that we can't pull back from that whole thing. But I think that there's something out there and it's a worthy cause. People just maybe need to get into it. Let me try to pull Babyface in here for a little bit. Patrick, right? What do you think? What would you be looking for in a platform like this to make you move over from looking at YouTube? What do you think you need?
There's a lot that would go into it. Good interface, good front end, good back end, reliability, mobile apps, just a user base that's willing to, a user base that's there, because that's the hardest thing, is pulling eyes away from YouTube is really, really difficult. They don't do everything great, but they do things just well enough to keep people around and watching. What's funny is revenue would be like, for a lot of people, I think revenue would be a big part of it, but for me, revenue would be kind of the last thing, because the content that I make is stupid. And I don't do it for money. I do it because I just want to share interesting things, like building guns and whatnot. But yeah, having good UI UX, having people there to watch it, stuff like
Well,
that.
that's what I'm trying to find out. I mean, I know you're not like I'm in it as a content creator. You're
Yeah.
really in there as someone who consumes this, and you're obviously
Yeah.
a gun guy, but you're into a lot of stuff. So we have these two guys here that are trying to pioneer this thing right now. I thought it would be a good opportunity to find out what is it that people want. We've also got people in the chat. You guys could tell us, what do you want? What would make you spend some of your time? Like, you know, I don't know how much time people spend on the internet looking at videos. What would it take to get you to spend half of your time on a different platform?
The biggest thing for me, one of the big things is a mobile app, which is, it sounds like is one of the platforms has it already. I think that's part of the reason why Full 30 never took off is their mobile scene was terrible and their user interface was pretty bad. Plus a whole bunch of other stuff, a whole bunch of back-end things that were a problem. But from a user standpoint, I don't know. I would have to sit down and look at it. Because YouTube functions currently. So when I go and watch content, it works. But I think there are things that can definitely be improved upon.
Okay. And what do you guys think about that? Austin, what do you think about that?
Yeah, that's exactly what I need to do is just go download it.
Yeah. At least give the app a try out there. And it's not easy to get an app, right?
No.
Yeah. What I would say about it is, he's saying all the things that, we would expect him to say. He's saying all the things that we do consistently hear. And, it's, everything he's saying, there's an expectation set by a company, YouTube, that is global, has unlimited cache and unlimited programming capabilities.
Yep.
And that's the kind of quality that we endeavor to deliver to our content creators and to our viewers. And we're an extreme disadvantage.
They have, what the craziest thing to me is they have unlimited potential, yet they seem to not give a crap about the user, the end user at all. Because I don't think anybody has ever asked for the bell notification and subscriptions to be changed, like all that stuff. Content creators don't want it, end users don't want it. That's a real problem with YouTube is they just don't listen to anybody. They just decide this is what we have to do. And a lot of it's because they're beholden to advertisers to some extent. But having a team that's willing to listen to the complaints of people and say, hey, this sucks, and then go, okay, we can fix that and make it better, that's a big thing.
Yeah, that's a great thing. Okay, and let me just do some housekeeping here because I kind of said the wrong thing here. So Trump pardoned the Hammonds.
Yeah. So
he pardoned the Hammonds in this whole thing. I think Cliven Bundy was commenting on it. He doesn't have to get pardoned, right? I think I would have to go back and see what happened with his particular thing. But Trump pardoned the Hammonds in this case, right?
Yeah, and the Cliven Bundy thing is a fantastic example of a great American. I mean, the thing is about the media is they demonize the guy for one reason, and it's because he doesn't walk the party line. This is a man who called upon his fellow Americans in order to stand up against a tyrannical government. No matter how you look at it, whether the people are right or wrong, we're the people. And when we have to point our guns at the government, there's a problem with the government, not with the people. That's the way it works. They work for us, and they've forgotten that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think this is the reason why Trump is in the White House.
That's
and
right.
I think he understands that. We're not all 100% happy with everything going on there, but I think people get it. There's some things here happening more than just whatever feelings people have, like, oh, let's be happy, open up everything to everyone and give everyone everything.
Yeah,
So
Babyface, what was so incredible about what you just said too is that it goes to show you the power that these companies have, like Facebook, YouTube, and then you have to start to wonder what is the real agenda, because we all know that they turn away tons of revenue.
I know,
I mean,
exactly.
I tell you, I could have spent a lot more money on Facebook advertising, but they won't take our ads.
Yeah.
You know, so these are multinational, global entities that have more power than you can shake a stick at, and they're not even trying to make money, and they're killing it. They're the largest corporations on earth. And then you start to ask yourself, well, what the hell's really going on here? You know, because it's exactly right. They don't provide good customer service. I mean, when we all grew up, it was all about customer service.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm
YouTube,
sorry. Who are we talking about? That is YouTube doesn't provide the good customer service. They don't provide any customer service.
Yeah, I understand. At some point that you can't listen to everybody, but YouTube just doesn't listen to anybody. I don't think they really care. I mean, just a couple weeks ago, they started testing. What was it, Hank? They were testing the if they got rid of your
thumbnails
created thumbnail on like 0.3% of the user base. Like that's directly screws with people. You can't go doing things like that.
Yeah. And 0.3% of the people of content creators is a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that the whole platform, the whole conglomerate, it's impossible to get a hold with them, get a response from them. I mean, it's just a joke.
It is. It's time for somebody else to step into the market and take a good portion of YouTube's revenue away.
Yeah. It looks like Brian stops for gas or something like that, or someone.
Our team is hungry, and you know.
Oh, got to feed the people. Do you have to go? If you have to go, let us know. We don't want to. Yeah.
We've been on the road for over a month. You know, we're sleeping in sweaty places. We're uncomfortable. We're out promoting the Second Amendment, getting thrown in jail. It's fantastic, man. We love it every day.
You are not fucking around.
Yeah. And hey, look, I want to invite you guys. We have created a calendar. I want to invite everybody, including Austin and everybody. We've published a calendar that takes us through August. Feel free to fly down and join us for a day or two on the road and broadcast to your audience. You know, what's happening out here on the ground. Talk to these people, man. Tell your audience what you hear. The next thing we're going to do after this is turn toward the southern border, and we're going to traverse the southern border with the Bearcat and our off-roaders. We're going to get guns. We're going to do border protection. We're going to buy drugs. We're going to carry them over the border. We're going to bust up human trafficking.
Some of this you might not want to say. You might not want to telegraph some of this. Don't get that Bearcat seized by the Mexican government, the federales.
No. We have to report the truth on the ground, man. Who's reporting from the border? We got to help Donald Trump sell the wall, because who's really down there telling the American people what's really going on? Nobody.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I understand.
So,
I understand.
Real quick, where can you get a link to the calendar? Where can we find the calendar?
It's on our Facebook page, Utah Gun Exchange Facebook page. Cool. We just published it, I think, this morning.
All right, I will go look it up.
And it goes Florida now. See, it's great for your audience and for growing your audience, because everywhere we go, there's media, you know, and you get a lot of attention.
Okay, cool. And if you're in Gainesville or something like that, either one of you guys, this goes to Austin as well, or even anyone else who's listening.
Gainesville is on the 30th, I think.
Yeah, you got to let us know then. We will, because both Hank and I are both here in Gainesville.
Right. Okay. I hope I'm going to be back by then. But
well, check this out. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we're going to these damn events every day, and we need to get the word out to like the local gun shops in the area. You know, we need people to turn out with us, you know, to help promote the Second Amendment. Well, you know, look, these guys just have a run of the roost everywhere they go. They go into these communities and tell everybody how bad guns are, and nobody's there to say otherwise.
Yeah. Okay. What are you doing on the 16th? I'm gonna be in an event in Leesburg on the 16th, and then after that, I'm getting on the road to do a road trip. What are you guys going to be doing on the 16th?
Well, I'd have to look at our calendar, and
okay.
it's on our face. I can switch over and look at it, but then you lose the
Yeah.
connection.
Okay. No. Okay. I understand. Let me know. What were you going to say, Babyface?
There was a event on the 2nd, it looks like, free Utah concealed firearms permit.
Oh yeah.
So how did that go? How'd you guys handle that? Because I actually teach here in Florida. I teach a CCW class in Gainesville, and would be willing to offer time if you guys help me put it together for when you're here.
Well, so what we do in Utah, if you have a concealed carry permit, you can carry a firearm in public schools, K through 12 and all public universities. So what we've done immediately following the Parkland incident is we came out and started offering free concealed carry training to anyone in the education system. The 3 weeks following, or let's see, maybe it was 4 weeks following the Parkland incident, we hosted the single largest concealed carry firearms class in the state of Utah's history, and the audience was comprised of 100% educators. So far in Utah, we've certified over 2,000 educators in the system to carry a firearm in the system. And we do that at no charge, and we run those classes every 5 weeks.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's great.
We have a program, a school safety, security, and fortification program called EduCarry. That's a trademark term. And EduCarry is designed to enhance security and fortify security at the schools nationwide without doing anything crazy like installing, metal detectors and crap like that. It's a real solution, and it's really happening in Utah, and it doesn't trample on anybody's constitutional rights.
Okay, very cool. All right.
This crap
go ahead.
that this crap they passed in Florida about this whole, raising the age to buy a rifle from 18 to 21, man. That's a constitutional abomination, man. Yeah. Those are the people that stormed the beaches in Normandy, man. I mean, give me a break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are soldiers that they denied their constitutional rights.
Yes, and it's single mothers and young people who are on their own but independent. You could be on your own at 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, and you're on your own. You got to take care of yourself.
To me, those are the most vulnerable people, because you don't have a lot of money to live in like the best part of the country or the best part of the city. You're a lot of times when you're 18, you're barely scraping by if you're out of your parents' house. So super, super vulnerable. And now here in Florida, you're not allowed to have a firearm, which is
outrageous.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna be at the big pro gun rally on the 28th in Tallahassee with the Bearcat and everything. We're collaborating with the organizers of that event. That's the same day that the March for Our Lives is going to be in Tallahassee. So we got to have an overwhelming response from Florida gun owners. We'll be pulling out all the stops at Utah Gun Exchange to promote that down here. We'll be working with everybody we can that's a gun advocate in the state of Florida to get a great turnout for that event in Tallahassee. And I want to send a message to Rick Scott, man. What? This is crazy. You can't do that. You got to reverse that law right this second. That is absurd. I mean, you're kicking these young soldiers, potential soldiers, in the teeth.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So I'm not trying to switch subjects here. I just want to cover a bunch of things on whatever time we have. I know that you didn't necessarily have a lot of time. So let us know, Brian, let us know if you've got to go or whatever. We'll, but if you could stay, that would be great though. So I don't know what's going on with if you've got time.
We're moving from the March for Our Lives event to the next location near Kissimmee.
Okay. All right, cool. So here's some things. Here's some feedback that I'm getting. I want both you and Austin, Babyface, if you agree with any of this or disagree. So we asked the question, what do you guys need? I see people saying that they want live streaming. They want diversity of videos. They would like to watch more than just gun videos.
Yeah, that a lot of people were saying that the one reason they felt that Full 30 failed was because it was strictly gun content. And a lot of people obviously want to see more than just that.
Yeah. And listen, first of all, I'm on Full 30. I'm not trying to beat up on anyone over there. I see there's a bunch of, I'm seriously not. I think as these guys said here in the beginning, we all need to somehow get together and make this thing happen because we're all going to go down. We can go down separately, or together, whichever one. I think that one of the big things that I see people saying is that they want to be able to get feedback from these places, right? That's even a complaint with when you're talking about like YouTube, right? That people feel like they're not getting feedback.
You know, the easiest thing that I'm an advocate for is you don't need to respond to every single person every single time they send you an email, but having an updated Facebook or Twitter where it says, hey, this is what we're working on, this is our stretch goals in the next month, we want to release these new features, or you know, even for downtime and things like that. YouTube goes down randomly, Facebook will go down, and you have no idea why. Just letting people know, hey, you know, we're gonna have downtime tonight from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. updating servers, changing this, things like that.
An informational page.
Yeah, just keeping people up to date is
Feedback.
hugely beneficial than just being radio silent constantly.
Yeah, I think you're making a really good point. I mean, more than just even, I think, a page. I think that in any business that you're doing, the customer is number one. That's why I was asking the question earlier, like, what's really more important? The most important thing on that thing is the people viewing, the people watching these videos and listening to these videos. Those are the most important people. You want to talk to them directly, especially when you're building something.
Yeah.
Right? Better to have 1,000, 10,000 people, whatever that number scales to, of people that actually know what's going on and they're loyal to you because they know and they understand what's happening, than to just get like millions of people come in, you're not saying anything to them, and then they're like, yeah, well, forget, these guys don't even know I exist.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Why should I know they exist? You know, so let's get some feedback from these guys. Austin, what do you think about that?
Oh, I think that's, you know, what Babyface said. That's some of those things we don't do. Obviously, we try to be as well connected as we can. We do try to answer every email, but we, you know, transparency, I think absolutely is, I am 100% on board with that. I think it's the way things should be. I think it's the way business like this should run. You know, and that, you know, what you just said is feedback for us. And what we do with that is important. So absolutely, I think that, you know, that's right on track. That's right on with what I believe in.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see, Brian. What do you think about that? I don't know if you got a chance to hear what's going on there.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you what. Just taking in that comment, it makes a lot of sense to me to set up, you know, an information page that talks about, you know, what we're trying to do, what we expect to do in the next month or two, the long-term goals, and then, you know, talk about any challenges that are affecting us. I mean, the technology is really.
I feel like it makes users feel more connected with your service or product or whatever when they can see. Like for us at Big Daddy Unlimited, we had, you know, when we first launched, we had a bunch of issues, and, you know, constantly telling people, hey, look, we're working on it. And then when something's posted, hey, we just fixed this.
Yeah.
You complained about this. We have fixed it. I know it was a problem. It's now fixed.
Yeah, and in a lot of cases, you were talking directly to those people. They were either calling you up directly, or
I would try to, but when you get to a certain size, that becomes pretty much that really becomes impossible. That's why having like a Twitter page has always been great for me in my mind, from a user experience. Being able to just go there and say, "Oh, look, this is their roadmap for what they're working on. There's like really good stuff on here coming out soon. This is awesome."
Yeah. And I think this is maybe like a little bit of a distraction, but kind of on the same page. Okay. I think you guys can also look back to the audience possibly as a way to help keep all of this going.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying that you make them pay for it, right? Because you want people to get into it, but you can also give people an opportunity to help you fund this thing. Because I have no clue how much money you guys have to put into this. I don't think you have enough. That's just that's my professional opinion.
Yeah, that's 100%. But
yes,
you know, because we're not trying to open up a brick and mortar local shop, right? We're trying to do something massive here, and you know, we can try as hard as we want, and we can spend as much money as we want, but you know, that's true too. As we gain more viewers, as we get more support, you know, we're working on hooking up a donations page right now. Like I said earlier on the call, you know, we're looking towards investors and really working on that monetization thing. But absolutely, you know, the viewers, a way to support.
Yeah.
All for
Yeah,
it.
I think there's multiple ways that we can go about that thing. So let's ask you guys maybe to give us feedback of what we all could do to help you both out. Like what would if you could talk to the people out there, you know, and ask them to do something to help you keep this going, what would you ask them?
I would ask them to share the page amongst their like-minded friends. I mean, the easiest demographic to pick up is the like-minded demographic, and you know what has value to investors is view counts. So view count on videos, that's what has value to investors. That's what has value to advertisers. They want to know how many people are looking at the websites. And the way we get more people and more content is by, you know, sharing the word, asking people to, you know, share movies that are on there and things of that nature with your friends. And then, you know, and then in that sense too, you know, these companies are looking for investors, you know, and so, you know, it's just going to be a matter of networking and talking to different people. Eventually, we're going to come across the right person who says, you know, I can't live without being a part of this, and I'm willing to invest. And, you know, I think for both Austin and I right now in our companies, you know, we want to deliver these incredible technological, you know, features. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is we got to grow our viewership. We got to grow the value of these websites to investors.
Big thing for a user base to remember is we're all just people, and you might feel like you're yelling at if you see something wrong, you might feel like you're just yelling at a robot, but there are people behind all these companies, and things take time to change and to fix. So if if you feel frustrated with something, just know that there's probably somebody working on fixing it, and it just takes a lot of time and money. So
yeah, and like our team, you know, we have, you know, 5 or so people working on them full time. We're working on things. I think our website, we're working on some things that are a little different than Austin is working on. And maybe not, you know, we have apps and we're having problems getting them approved on Apple. And then we've been working a lot on the streaming technology, you know, trying to break down that data into small bits and deliver it to mobile devices on very slow connections. You know, that's the challenge. And, you know, people demand a good viewing, you know, like buffering experience. And that's a great challenge, you know. And then there's the bandwidth. I mean, my hell, you know, you're talking terabytes of bandwidth that are being served here, you know, and we're both on Amazon Web Services, you know. I mean, you know how much money they want to store these damn videos and serve them up? It's unbelievable.
So I don't know if you guys want to get into this, or this is one of those conversations that maybe there's some like private information in there, but I think it might serve us well, or serve the people out there well, to know a little bit of the behind the scenes of how the sausage is getting made here. How are you guys doing this? What can you actually tell us about how you're doing it?
Go ahead, Austin.
Well, to follow up just real quick on that last subject, you know, that if we're to kind of tell our content creator something or our viewer something, Brian was spot on. You know, it's, if you can get behind what we're doing, we need your help, right? We need everybody's help. If you can't get behind what we're doing, if it's for a certain issue you have with the site or something you need or want to see, let us know. You know, there's just 2 super easy steps that anyone can do. You know, it doesn't break anyone's back to help us share the word. It doesn't break anyone's back to send me a quick message. If you send a message, or if you go to our form and put something in there, I see every single one of those. So go ahead and do it if you know, if you have some feedback. or something that we can do better that can help anyone get behind it. Anyway, so that's all I was going to say about that. And then you wanted to know about like the technical side of things, right?
Yeah, as much as you can tell. I know there might be some proprietary things here or some insider secrets you don't really want to let go. I know from my particular understanding, a lot of this is not super secret stuff, but you know, there's always something that you know that everyone's doing different. So you don't have to tell us that. Just generally, how do you do it?
So I'm an entrepreneur, but I have a background in web development. I work with some very talented people who are supporting me in this probably better than I could have asked for. We have people on the social side. We have, someone on operations that's helping with all the contact, making sure that we get everyone's questions answered. But on the development side, we have a very strong working presence. And, back to my main focus on the site, that's really important to me that we have that because, like the live streaming, there's a huge part of our user base that wants it, that want it to work, that, even if it's just to get the donations thing working through live streaming, we don't have that today. But the development team is a huge focus for me because we can get those things one at a time that I think all these users need to get comfortable on our service. So we're very focused on the development side of things. Like Brian said, we both run our videos off AWS, Amazon, which is just not cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hosting a service, especially with major bandwidth like that, is expensive. It's hard and it's expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are. I mean, we have certain times that we dedicate on our sprints to, help us out with other services. Maybe a service that we can save an extra half a penny per gigabyte on this video streaming. And we set a time to have phone calls with companies that can maybe help us out with that. We can save some money. We can take it, put it elsewhere. Right. So that's kind of how we're operating right now. We're not a huge team, but we're very well focused, and all of us are working day and night for this. So that's one of the basics of how it's built right now.
Right. So you guys, for your servers, you're both going to Amazon, right? So who's in the game here for this thing? I know Google's in the game for sure. And I'm not just saying about YouTube. I know because I've seen them and talked to them at the broadcasting show that I go to every year. They're in the game of servers. Amazon's in the game. But I think there's a bunch of different people in the game. And if I'm not mistaken, there's even kind of virtual server things going out there, almost like Airbnb for servers. So am I wrong? How does this work? Who else is in the game?
Most of the big companies are running it. I think the second biggest past AWS is like Microsoft Azure.
Yeah.
Like no matter what, it's expensive. It's all expensive. Server hosting a web service of any kind, just it adds up, especially streaming, because you go through a ton of data.
Yeah, terabytes
and he's right. And the bigger you get, the more expensive it gets. So, you're kind of like you're chasing your tail trying to get all these viewers and all these content creators. And then OPS, by the way, when you reward yourself with great success with a lot of viewers and content creators, then you get a larger bill.
Yeah.
so
like, great, you're getting all these viewers.
Amazon Web Services, as I understand it, they, and I'm not an expert in that field like Austin is, but I'm more of a marketing guy, but they, as I understand it, they have a data distribution service that's almost kind of built for this purpose right now, and it's brand new, and that's kind of one of the reasons why we're over there. Give you a little background just on the behind the scenes at our place. We have, of course, our company existed prior to the launch of UGETUBE, and we have other things going on too. We have about 20 employees at our place, but we have a team of about 5 or 6 developers and a chief technical officer right now. So the way that system's set up on our side is I have my business partner, Sam Robinson, Our chief technical officer reports to him, and he sets the priority and the strategy. And then we have various aspects associated with our web properties that we endeavor to improve upon. And I'd say about 90% of our technological expertise is dedicated to UGETUBE right now. So there's a variety of different things that are going on there, though, within that environment. One is, of course, we're trying to make sure that we deliver a seamless viewing experience. That's streaming. That's a tough one. Another one is we're building out a proprietary ad server, and that's able to accept advertisements electronically from the masses. In our case, too, we have more than just UGETUBE, and so we want to make sure that our ad server will service all of our web properties as well. We have our apps. Now, even though our apps were developed and ready to go like 6 weeks ago, they were looked at and said, well, we want to have some more bells and whistles. And so we have people working on those, you know, and so they kind of, and then there's the priority list of priorities. So then once you get done with the top priority, then you move to the next one, you know, and basically the list of services that we need to deliver on, you know, just it gets larger all the time. It doesn't get smaller. So it's a matter of prioritizing projects, prioritizing programming, prioritizing people. And, you know, like Austin said, I mean, there's just a lot of things happening. And it's hard to keep them all, to juggle them all.
Yeah. You know what? I don't want to get too deep and too technical for folks out there, because I know some people might not want to get into that. I think the thing I do want people to know is you can wish that something existed, which is fine. You know, that's like wishing you won the lottery. You know, or you can act, and I've got no problems with anyone winning the lottery or playing the lottery. What I think, though, most of the time, if you want something to exist, you have to play some part in it existing. So you either have to get out there and create it, you have to promote it, you have to take part in it. You know, there's all these different pieces that it takes to make it happen. And it can't just be a thing for us that we wish. Otherwise, I think we're going to wind up in a couple of years where we have no voice, because that's pretty much what's happening. People like us are being segregated in society. You know, the only difference from, to me, the only thing that difference that happened from what happened back in America's past is that it's not just a racial group of people. It's anyone who believes what we believe.
Hey, you know, I tell you something, guys, something that I've learned in the last couple of weeks is astonishing to me, that when we endeavored out on this journey, I knew that our message and the way we were doing it is loud and controversial. I felt like we would be safe because at the very least our civil rights would be intact. That is not the case. And in the Northeast, the attitude and the culture, the environment that they've created, the hostility that they've created toward gun owners and gun advocates in the Northeast is not unlike the hostility or the uncertainty that a black man would have felt in the South 200 years ago, because what we're talking about is violations of your civil rights here. I mean, taking a person, you know, taking their property, throwing them in jail. I have no idea what kind of experience we're going to have with law enforcement, including and up to violating our civil rights and taking away our property. And then, you know, it just makes me feel like, wait, I'm not even really in the United States anymore. It's so hostile, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And do you, I mean, Lola's telling me that it looks like you need to eat. Do you guys need to go eat? I don't want to.
Oh, yeah, I got my group waiting for us.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. I don't want to, you know, I don't want those guys to be out there hungry, man. We need to feed, because they could be in prison. I'm pretty sure when you were locked up in New York, they were giving you like some really like 4-day-old McDonald's or something.
They didn't give me anything. They wouldn't even give me water or the bathroom, man. I thought I was going to have to pee in the corner of the jail cell.
Yeah, it's all torture tactics. All right, so I don't want to keep you guys. I know you guys need to go eat, and you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. Both of you, you know, I think that I think Austin can stay, hopefully, but for both of you guys, we'll like do separate shows for you, so you can come on, answer a whole bunch of questions about the platform. We'll take a look at your platforms and all that. I'd like to do whatever I could do. Maybe we'll talk privately about things, but I thought this would be a good opportunity before I leave and get on the road to have this conversation and at least start it and let people think about what's happening here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
appreciate it.
Sorry to butt into your chat there, Brian.
Yeah, fun time. Well, I don't mind joining with Austin at all, and I think it's great for your audience, and you know what we like, we'd be happy to join. You know, we're going to be here in Florida for at least until August, early August, and we're going to be doing these things, almost daily events with the March for Our Lives, man. It's just going to get crazier.
Okay, cool. All right, so we'll definitely stay in touch with you guys. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and we'll keep track of you. Stay safe out there, man.
All right, I'm going to hop off, and I'll catch up with you guys later.
All right, thanks a lot, Brian. We appreciate it. Okay. Brian, man, that guy, he's living. He's living on the edge.
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't realize it was like a whole bunch of people also living on the edge. They're like gypsies, like modern day gypsies out there. Yeah. So I don't know. I know there's a whole bunch of different things going on here. I'm not even let's see. Okay, I know that Lola gave me the question, like, can anyone stream on Gunstreamer?
Yes.
I think you answered that, right?
Yes. Anyone, obviously, you have to own the content or own the rights to the content, right? You know, we've had one or two people who were just picking off videos from, you know, like Hip-Hop 45 videos or whatever.
What?
Yeah, so that's a no-go. You have to own the rights to the content. But yeah, anyone can upload. You know, we have had a few things that are off gun topic. We have one uploader who does coffee reviews and beer reviews, I think. You know, and that's
cool.
Yeah. So
I think that would be good, you know, to get some. There's so many things on so far as alcohol. You know, there's cigar things, there's cars, motorcycles. Maybe facing
YouTube doesn't want to be part of that any longer. I don't think they do.
You know what? I think they want certain things, and then the other things they don't want, or they don't want certain people. And I think this is where they're creating an opportunity for people to jump in there. But you guys aren't. So what you're saying is that you're not like locking people into just doing that, right?
No, we're not. We've had some other ideas, like, you know, once we have the technology, a really great platform to kind of launch sites in parallel. We don't really know quite how we're going to handle that from like a marketing perspective quite yet. But we're not by any means saying if your video doesn't have a firearm in it, then it's out. You know, we're not saying that. Just to be clear. But you know, I think for us, there was a drive for us to in some ways support the firearms community, and that's sort of where the name came from and the theme, and that's kind of our main focus right now. But we're not saying go away. You know, if you don't have that type of, whatever your hobbies are, absolutely bring them to the table. If you think that's what your viewers want to see, that's perfectly fine with me.
Okay. Patrick, I don't know if you have any other things in there. Someone's asking me if I have any military guns, like M1 Garand 1903 A3. Yeah. Patrick has those. Yeah, so by default, I have those also.
Hank basically has.
You should have prepared me for the Gorn then, I guess.
Yeah, do you have any handy?
I got some stuff upstairs. I was gonna comment, but I didn't make a comment yesterday when you were talking about your 22. That's one of my favorite things to shoot. You know, it's fun. It's cheap. It's compared.
Yeah,
I've got a SR22.
Is that the Ruger pistol?
It's the Ruger rifle. It's also labeled SR22.
Oh, okay.
So, and it's all metal, which I like. But it's just a blast. It's just a lot of fun. Maybe I'll grab that real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what I found out about that? I was showing it. I think I still have it here. That Defiance, that DMK 22 with the LVOA, that's from War Sport, right? I was trying to remember the name of the company. War Sport makes that handguard that goes on there. And I think War Sport went out of business.
Oh.
Wait, what?
You got to run one now.
Yeah, I don't think I think they're either changing it or they want that War Sport name to go. There's something weird happening with that. So that might not be. There was something I saw. Let me see if I could pull it up in the firearm blog, or where did I see that? That's a weird thing about, let's see, War Sport. Because I think they, where did I see this? I'm trying to find this story. I'll keep looking for it, but I know I saw some kind of news story here about War Sport, and I was like, oh man, that's a pain. Right? So
So wait. The Defiance that's still made by Chris Vector, so that's not defunct. The War Sport.
No. Chris is in business, but the company that makes that handguard.
Oh, you're talking the handguard.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so this is from Recoil Web right here. So the company that makes the handguard, let me see if I can get this open and show you guys.
Sport is dead.
I'll be right back.
Zero Delta, go for it. Zero Delta is carving a new path from Recoil.
Yeah, so there's a Recoil article about it. And for anyone who's trying to figure out, like, what the hell are we talking about? If you didn't see yesterday's show, this handguard right here with that cool little, like, Pac-Man kind of like mouth cut into it, that's a LVOA. Some War Sport makes that handguard. So you can get this on other rifles that are 223, 300 blackout.
It looks like they were bought out by Zero Delta.
Right. Yeah.
That's the new mother company for them.
Yeah, and then I don't think they necessarily want the War Sport brand itself to keep going.
Probably not.
That's what that Recoil Web article is about. So I guess that's a good thing, bad thing. I don't know.
Don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't like that handguard. You don't like that handguard.
No, I think it's ugly.
Right, there you go.
It's way too heavy for what it is.
Never one to keep his own opinion to himself. That's babyface.
You know that thing, if you have nothing nice to say nothing at all? That's not me.
Yeah, you never heard that saying.
Hank knows that's definitely not me.
No, that's cool. That's cool. I can't knock you for that. I value your opinion. So
do you see what I picked up from the 4th of July sales?
No, what did you get?
Oh man, so I went deal shopping. My crank. Oh, I haven't shown off my crank. I got it painted, so this is nice and Cerakoted black.
Oh, cool. Where'd you get that painted?
Did it myself. Went down to Tampa 2 weeks ago, and my dad's got a body shop, so he's got the sandblasting cabinet and paint booth and everything. So Cerakoted it. But so I got a deal on this. This is called the Master Mount for the AKs. I didn't typically on an AK you have a side rail mount. I didn't want to drill and tap my AK because I wasn't sure if I was going to keep the mount on it. So there's a company that makes what's called the Master Mount, and it uses the pinholes. Let me get over this side. It uses your firing pin holes as the mounting screws. So it goes all the way through, holds your firing pin. Your trigger and hammer, and mounts onto the side. And then last week, I picked up, which I don't have the optic for it yet. This is from RS Regulate. It's a slide-on mount, basically made for the AK.
Cool. Yeah, those guys make the best side mount.
It's a super awesome mount. It's super sturdy. Problem is, I thought this mount would fit my optic, so I have a Vortex Razor Red Dot. I thought it was the same pattern as the RMR, so I bought the RMR upper. It doesn't fit. So now I need to go buy an RMR somewhere. Yeah. Or sell this and buy an RMR.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You can't get a plate. You can't get a plate to change.
No, I'm sure I could make something if I went out to the mill. I could probably mill something and make it work, but I think my best bet is to buy myself an RMR. It gives me an excuse to buy it.
Yeah, exactly. I know exactly where you're going with this one.
But yeah, no, it's really cool. I mean, it's super, super low profile. You can't even hardly see it on top of the gun. And then putting an RMR on top would make it perfect. A little red dot would be great. So that's what I picked up last week over the holiday.
Okay, very cool, very cool. Looks like Austin went and got some guns.
So this is the SR22 rifle, Ruger 1022. It's sorry, I actually just went shooting it, so I haven't cleaned it out yet. But
it's filthy.
It has these banana clips also that are somewhat similar to the, I believe they're the Smith & Wesson 22, but
that's the Ruger 1022.
Yeah, the Ruger. Yeah, Ruger. I think Ruger's the only one that has these.
Yeah. So this is a 25 round.
Yeah, those things are awesome.
Which it fired great, shot great, everything. This came with the collapsible stock. Like I said, it's all metal, so it feels good. It's a blast to shoot, I tell you. I bought it from Gallinson's downtown. Stand up people over there. So
cool. It's cool looking. I've never seen the SR22 rifle.
Yeah, really cool.
Yeah,
you need a suppressor on that bad boy now.
Seriously.
What's that?
You need a 22 suppressor.
Yeah.
Yeah. But with the Ruger 1022, there's so many different builds that you can do, you know?
Yeah.
Lots of people build up their Ruger 1022s, but this one is coming all built like that from Ruger, the SR22. Right?
Yeah, this is the way it came built. I haven't modified anything yet, so which I think is really cool. I think I don't know if I should say the deal that I got it for.
How much was it?
Yeah. At this point, if you don't tease us.
Yeah, you've already said it. Now you got to.
Yeah. It was $350.
That's a good price.
Okay.
That's
that's good.
Yeah. I'm looking at picking up at some point. I just saw it the other day and I want one now. And one I showed you today, Hank. The 1022 Takedown Light model. It is super awesome looking, and I don't have a 1022 at the moment, so
Also from Ruger,
because Ruger makes the best 22s. I'm just saying.
Well, okay, so you've never had a 1022 then?
I had one, and I sold it to buy the Ruger American 22, which is the bolt action. But it's probably time for me to get another one. Put it in like what's the backpacker stock from Magpool or something like that.
Right.
That'd be where it just kind of folds together. Be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
What are you digging around back there for?
I'm pulling out one. So no, I thought I had one here and I didn't. That's what I was looking for. I was searching around. I thought I had a 1022 because I built up a bunch, and we've built up some 1022s before.
Yeah,
I've
built a couple of them.
Yeah, I was looking for that one, and I've got another one that I'm actually going to build with ATI.
There you go.
Because ATI Outdoors has a Ruger 1022 stock, so one of those is in the works. And of course, I'm going to take that DMK and then I'm going to put an integral suppressor in that. So you got to.
Yeah.
That's the wave of the future.
Yeah. Once you start going suppressed, you just want everything suppressed. At least I do.
Austin, do you have a suppressor yet?
No. I want one though.
Oh my God.
You're in Utah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's still
yeah, but all the companies are there, man. I think like
go buy Silencer Co.
Yeah,
go by Silencer Co. They were actually out to an event here in Utah recently, and it was pretty fun.
Yeah, you gotta know someone at Silencer Co.
My experience with them has been really great. They've been a really good company. Can we switch to news real quick?
Sure. What's up?
Did you see that Defense Distributed is now what they go by? But oh God, what's the guy's name? He was in the news a couple years ago for making the plastic 380, like single shot 380, 3D printable. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Yes.
They came out with that. Within the week, they were put out of business. They were running defcon.com. And it was where they were hosting Cody. There it is. Yeah. Somebody opt out of gun control. Cody something. Is it Cody Phillips maybe? Either way. So they were hosting a lot of content for 3D printing guns and stuff. And the Department of Defense, I think it was, came out against him and said, no, DefCAD, there it is, Richard Hughes got me, defcad.com, came out and said, you can't do that, you're breaking ITAR regulations and all sorts of stuff. Cody Wilson, thank you. This week, they closed that lawsuit against the government and are reopening DefCAD. So it's will be back up on the internet. And
okay, because it's not back up now.
no, I don't think it is yet, but they have already put out a statement today saying that they plan on bringing it all out.
Okay.
Yeah, these are the guys that made the Ghost Gunner, the CNC machine that I have. The same company that made that.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
Which that thing is totally worth it.
Yeah. So there's no way we can talk about the news without talking about the kids in Thailand. Those kids got out, right?
Did you see the video of them going underwater and being rescued?
No, I was looking at drawings of how they were doing it. Yeah.
Talk about claustrophobia. That sounded like a nightmare to me.
Yeah.
Oh.
I also saw that Elon Musk built a mini submarine, took it all the way over there, but the people didn't use it, so Elon Musk is leaving it there for future.
In case somebody else runs into deeper and deeper into a mine or whatever it was.
You leave it outside of that exact cave?
I don't know. Probably he's going to do something like that. It's like in a big glass box with a hammer that says break this in case of getting your ass stuck in this cave. I'm glad that everyone got out of there. I still think that the coach that took them down into these caves should be flogged.
Probably stay there for an extra couple hours.
Yeah.
When the water starts rising, don't go deeper into the cave. Go the other direction and get out.
No, they had to, because once they got to that point, they couldn't. They would have to swim through it, and they had to teach these kids to swim to get out of there.
Yeah, that was the other thing is most of them didn't know how to swim. I don't believe.
Yeah, none of them.
So what they ended up doing for the kids that couldn't swim is basically they put them in like a little cocoon, like a body bag cocoon thing, zipped them into it, and then put a full face regulator mask on them, and then just kind of drug them through underwater. But the whole thing seemed like an absolute nightmare. I mean, being stuck in a cave sucks, but being cocooned for whatever, they said it takes like an hour to get out of the cave to dive out.
Yeah.
It's just
I'm glad they got through it. I think the coach should be flogged, but I'm glad they got out of it.
Yeah.
Someone lost their life in this whole thing.
Yeah, one of the rescuers, wasn't it?
Yeah. So Richard Hughes says, how long was it until they ran out of toilet paper?
They never had toilet paper. Come on.
Also, when you can't eat, I don't think you're doing shoes anyway. Also, if you got all that water, you could just wash your butt. I mean,
just poop in the water.
Yeah, come on now.
Bidet.
Do what the fishes do. Do what the fishes do. But I am glad to see that those kids got out of there. It's a little crazy with this whole Elon Musk thing. I think that Elon Musk is a little bit trying to to troll everyone out there. So this thing came up and he's like, wait, I'm Elon Musk. I'm going to solve this for you. People.
Yeah.
So
it's just,
I'm not trying to kill his creativity, but that's kind of silly.
They got it solved before he could build his little thing.
Yeah. So there you go. Any Star Wars fans out there? This is totally sideways trivia. Billy D. Williams is going to be back in Star Wars.
Nice.
I haven't seen the new ones.
Yeah.
The first was good. I haven't seen the second yet.
Yeah. So I know they did the Han Solo story. And obviously there was a what's Billy D. Williams' character again? Oh man.
Oh God. Somebody's gonna say it.
I can't believe I'm forgetting right now.
Quick, don't worry.
Yeah, Donald Glover played his character in the movie, and I'm trying to think. Lando Calrissian.
Yep.
Yeah, Lando Calrissian. So anyway, he'll be back to doing that. I don't know if any, like the retirement home for Star Wars people. Let's just drag them all. That at this point, this is a bad thing because you're gonna die. He's coming back, and then they're gonna kill him off in the story. So that's going on. I'm trying to see what other.
Oh, you want to do a watch check real quick? I got to show off.
Sure. Okay.
What are you wearing today?
Are you into watches, Austin?
I actually just have a smartwatch, but I'm not wearing it right now.
Oh, okay. What smartwatch?
It's a Apple smartwatch.
Okay. All
I
right.
had one and I loved it, and then I broke it one day when I was out at the range, and I haven't bought another one.
Yeah. So okay.
I
So
was so mad. So what do you got, Hank?
Patrick? What am I wearing? I am here. Look, check that bad boy out. You've seen
That
this
looks like
D1. This is the D1.
PJ
Yeah, the
or
D.
whatever.
Yeah, the
Knockoff?
D1 Milano.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a little bit of a knockoff right there.
It's a clone. It's a
things that are
copycat.
different. Yeah. So D1 Milano. That's what I'm rocking.
So I also have a clone. I don't know if I've told the story before, but this is my new Tudor Submariner. It's a Tudor Snowflake Submariner. It's from early 70s. So everything's Rolex marked, Rolex band, Rolex crown.
Yeah.
Basically a Rolex with a Tudor and an ETA movement.
Yeah, I heard you jack this from Grandpappy Face.
Oh, for sure. So yeah, story on this watch. These days, the Snowflake Submariners are super, super, super collectible. Really, really collectible. Less than 5 years ago, they were going for $3,000, $3,500, which is still a lot of money for a watch, but that's what they were going for. They're now up to about $75,000 to $8,000 because people decided they had to have the Snowflake. This is my $50 Tudor. We have a watch shop. My family has a watch shop back in Tampa. Somebody brought it into the shop to get it serviced, and the bill was $50. The service bill was $50, and the guy decided he didn't want to pay that and said keep it. So my mom ended up covering the bill. This is like 35 years ago. Mom ended up covering the bill, took it home for my dad, and my dad, who at the time, he owns a body shop, and was like, "No, I'm not going to wear watches. I don't need a watch." So my grandfather took it. He's worn it a little bit. And for the last probably close to 10 years, it's been sitting in a drawer, not being worn. So last weekend when I was in Tampa, I was like, "Hey, I'm going to take that with me and wear it, if you don't mind." So it has not officially been given to me. I keep telling him that it would make for a great wedding present next year. But he's letting me wear it for now.
Just going, poor Grandpa Babyface.
That's right. I have a bunch of his other. No, I have one of his other watches here that he never. I don't think he even knows I have it.
I see. That's how you're getting down. Do you have any guns like this that came from your grandpa? Like, this is a nice gun. I don't think you need this one.
I gave him guns. He had 1 year for Christmas a while ago. I bought him a Mosin Nagant. Because I said it was one of those deals where they were like $89 a piece. So I bought two, and I gave one of them I kept, and the other I gave to him. And it turned out that it was his birth year. It was in 1937, Mosin Nagant. So that was his Christmas present. But yeah, I'm the one that gives him guns. I gave him a Beretta 82 FS or whatever, or 85 FS, the 380. So he's doing all right on guns.
Yeah.
I don't just steal from him. I give him things in return.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Very good. So let me see here. Whatever time we have left, should we maybe have a little bit of conversation while we're on the news subject of Brett Kavanaugh, Trump's pick for Supreme Court?
I got something interesting there. Have you seen the StopKavanaugh.com that's being pushed by left media?
No.
So there's a website, StopKavanaugh.com. Pretty basic. It's to try to push the narrative that we should stop Brett Kavanaugh. Somebody did a Who Is. Do you know what Who Is from ICANN? Somebody did a Who Is of that website. And it turns out it was bought like 3 weeks ago.
Soros.
Yeah, it was purchased 3 weeks ago. Obviously, the name is private, so they don't know who purchased it. But you can do a search for any of the potential picks that President Trump was looking at, and there's a stoptheirlastname.com. Because they went and just bought all the domains like 3 weeks ago in preparation for him to announce it, and then they would bring whichever one live. Yeah. So it's like the media is trying to portray this as like some grassroots movement, people showing up to protest Kavanaugh. Turns out they purchased the website and prepared for it like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, this is how politics goes. And you're a baller when someone creates a stop anything. Like we need a stophankstrange.com.
Stopbabyface.com.
Hold on a second. Austin's like, wait a second.
There was also another interesting one that came out. This one I saw on the Donald today. Let's see if I can find it. There was some group that came out, obviously against Kavanaugh, and they had I don't know if it was a tweet or part of their website, but it was like President Trump's pick XX is the worst for these certain reasons, and every place that there should have been the person's name, it was like just an XX where they could basically fill it in when the person got picked. So again, they had like this whole thing like planned out, and they were just gonna insert name here, sort of thing.
Yeah, that's how these guys get down. So what do we actually know about it? Austin, do you have any opinion on this? Are you able? I mean, I know you're crazy building platform and everything. Building.
I don't actually know him that well. I read up on a few things that he did years ago. I mean, I guess it's, really it just depends on how he acts. He could change on a number of these things. He could change on how well he supports the second. He could change. I don't know. I don't know him that well, honestly. I just have read a few things here this last week. So,
yeah, I think we will come out. The biggest thing I want to know is where he's at with guns and stuff like that. It looks like he was born in D.C., grew up in Maryland. There you go. All good stuff.
Yeah, he was supportive of. I can't remember where he was, but they were basically trying to pick apart certain types of firearms, and he was sort of the one naysayer that was like, you can't just decide that this is considered, unassaultable or whatever, and that's basically all I know about what he's done on that front. But
yeah, I see something here. This says Kavanaugh was led the investigation into the suicide of Clinton aide Vince Foster.
The double tap to the back of the head suicide.
Yeah, that's interesting. Another little interesting tidbit that I just saw here. Let me see if I can find that. Where did that go? Okay, so his father was president of the Cosmetic, Toiletry, and Fragrance Association for 20 years. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Now people don't know this. But the Cosmetic, Toiletry, and Fragrance Association is basically the nom de plume for the Illuminati. I'm just channeling my Alex Jones.
That's exactly it.
They want to kill us with the fragrances in the toilet. There's a Stargate in the toilet. That's how we die. That's how they get you. They're getting you with the Fragrance Association. They just call it fragrance. It's code. It's code.
Whoever's doing it, you got to hurry up and buy StopHankStrange.com quickly before you get out of control.
I'm sure one of your listeners already has.
Do you guys ever listen to Alex Jones? Because he cracks me up.
Yeah. He entertains me because he's out there. He's too out there for me.
Yeah, I enjoy a little bit of Alex Jones in my life. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
Movie that he did.
Which movie?
It's I can't remember if the actual title of it had Barack in it. It was all about Barack, and it was a union conspiracy. Maybe someone knows in the chat.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Alex Jones movie.
Yeah. Alex Jones. I don't know. He just keeps me entertained.
The Obama Deception.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. And here's the thing. I think Alex Jones is a lot like when I was younger, my mom used to read like all those tabloid papers that you get in the supermarket, like Inquirer and The Sun. All those things are like Michael Jackson has alien babies, that kind of stuff. But every now and then a story in those things was true.
I mean, clock's right twice a day, isn't it? That's what the saying is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you throw enough crap out there, eventually something's going to stick.
There's some true things. I think Alex Jones is the same thing. There's some things he's talking about that is 100% true.
Yeah.
And we just think,
vampires.
Yeah, there's things. I think there's things going on out there. Yeah, I know right now he's like coming down on Joe Rogan or whatever.
Yeah, so whatever happened there? Because the two of them are friends, from what I've heard.
I think they're still friends, but I think Alex Jones says that Joe Rogan is being co-opted by the alien overlords. So, and it could be true. I don't know. Might be true. Might be true. It might be the aliens might be who's behind the stop movement, the stopthis.com, stopthat.com. So
they bought it from the station on the moon.
Inside
of the moon.
Yeah, Wheel says, I must say I'm not much of a fan of the fact Kavanaugh is okay with the NFA because it's history and tradition. Yeah, there shouldn't be no freaking history or tradition with the NFA. So
it's true.
Yeah, but you know what? Listen, he's a younger guy. If he's conservative, if he's constitutional, and he gets on there, we slow down some shit.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna tell you, every time Trump nominates one of these guys and they get into the Supreme Court, I go, okay, makes it a little bit better. Yeah,
I'm ready for the questions from Congress. Because what's his name, the last one that went through, when he was sitting in front of Congress and being questioned, he played it really well. They kept asking him for his opinion, and he's like, I don't, I have no opinion on that. It's the law. Is it the law? Then it's the law. That's all I know.
Yeah. You know what I think about all those things? I think those people don't realize that maybe back in the 80s or 90s or something like that, people gave a shit about them grandstanding. Mm-hmm. And using that to get airtime and get nice sound bites. Nobody looks at that crap now.
No.
Just stop the nonsense. But whatever, we're not going to do it. Okay, so listen, we're over 9. But what I want to do is give Austin a chance here to give us the pitch once again for Gunstreamer in whatever time we have going here. Give us the pitch one more time for people joining in now. Tell us about it.
Okay, yeah, so for those who haven't heard about it earlier on the video or just joined, Gunstreamer, it's a video sharing platform. Anyone can post. We've tried to develop somewhat of a YouTube-esque kind of feel so that people can be familiar with it, comfortable with it, that sort of thing. We have apps. We have an iPhone app. We have an Android app. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. And we're here, we're here. You can let us know. You can, as I said, on the contact form, you're reaching me when you send those messages. We have a lot of good content creators out there. We have a lot of good content creators here on listening to the chat right now. And thank all of you for your support, and thank all the viewers for the support. I mean, we've had a phenomenal few months here, and we're just kind of snowballing out of control, but we're going to be here, and we're going to be fighting every single day for this platform. We're going to be fighting for our rights. This is the time for us in our minds. So, that's who we are, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah. What is the name of that stuff that all those guys are drinking in Silicon Valley? Is it Soylent?
Soylent?
Yeah. Yeah. I hope you're ready with that, man, because you're basically gonna have to just do an IV of that.
Yeah. We'll get lots of it for them.
I'll just run it in. But we appreciate you coming on. We also appreciate Brian coming on from UGETUBE, because I think it was a good opportunity here. We were originally supposed to have him on, then we weren't sure what was happening. Did he get arrested? Did he get arrested again? What's going on there? We got him on. We got you on. I think it was a good conversation. I would definitely like to have you come back, and even have Brian come back, maybe separately, so we can get more in depth. Yeah, people find out about these things. I encourage people to go out there, check you out. You've got the apps, download the app, see who's on there. Lola and I right now are talking about all this stuff. So at some point here, we're probably going to get involved in some of this and do something from our point of view, because I think everyone has to get involved somehow, at least just dip your toe in.
See how
yeah, at least get in there a little bit, see how it is. Otherwise, the next time around, I think one of these days we're going to run into this wall where YouTube deletes people and don't give them their channel back.
Yeah,
it will happen sooner or later. Probably sooner than later.
Yeah, I think we're coming to that. I think the reason all of these things we were just talking about have a lot to do with why we don't see that yet. Because Trump is president, because he's putting people in the Supreme Court, because Republicans are kind of running things at this point, they don't want to do that, just wholesale delete people's channels and then get brought up where they go, hey, maybe you guys should be a utility.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they don't want that kind of stuff. But if we all don't pay attention, and then when the pendulum like inevitably swings back the other way, and you get someone like Hillary Clinton in the White House, you know, they're going to do that. And I don't think we should wait till then. I think we should start working on these things and building it and working together and letting things have a chance in the ecosystem to grow or die or get stronger or change, you know, and have something evolve and develop into what we really need so that we don't have to keep going through this stuff.
Absolutely. 100.
Yeah. So, okay. So the people just go to gunstreamer.com, right?
Yeah, you can go to gunstreamer.com. You can go to gunstreamer.com on the mobile. The website is really well worked out. It works really well on mobile. But go download the apps. Give us some feedback. Let us know what you think. You know, we will definitely be letting you guys know when we release stuff. We'll have it out all on social media. You know, so just come check us out and see what you think. If you can, help spread the word, you know, help us with this in any way you can. But yeah, download the app, check out the website, just let me know what you think.
Awesome. Thanks a lot for coming on, man. Okay, Babyface, do you have anything you want people to know about before we get out of here?
Not really. Go check out Big Daddy Unlimited.
Yes, 99 cents for the first month.
Yeah, first month's 99 cents. It pays my bills, so just know that.
Yes, we got to keep Babyface in a job.
That's right. I need to buy more guns and ammo, so somebody's got to pay for that.
Yeah, but it is. Listen, it's a good deal. 99 cents. If you're on the fence, it's just 99 cents. Spend that. Get in there. Try it out. You know, see what you think about it.
Yeah.
There's a link in the description for anyone who's interested.
We have some cool changes that were pushed out today, so. If anybody is interested in buying SIG, Polymer 80, or Daniel Defense, and there's a couple others in there, we pushed out an update today with those products. And if you're looking at buying one of those, you'll understand if you've looked at it before. That's my pitch. That Hank's silent.
Did we lose him?
Oh, we might have. I was like, man, he's just silent for the longest time. I bet the internet went out there.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny is
Safety Harbor Firearms.
Oh wait, there he is. He's back. Yep.
Who's back?
You were gone for a while.
Oh, what? I wasn't there?
No, you just disappeared. You were just perfectly silent.
Oh, what?
Okay, now you're back. Last thing I said was go check out Big Daddy Unlimited. Take it away, Hank.
Okay, no, I thought you guys were hearing me. I was saying tomorrow we have Mike from ATI Outdoors coming on. We just did a video with him shooting Sten gun with Safety Harbor Firearms, so you guys check that out. He'll be on tomorrow to talk about ATI Outdoors and a bunch of other stuff we have going on. I will get off of this before anything gets worse. Thanks a lot to ATI Outdoors, of course, Safety Harbor Firearms, Andrews Custom Leather, and of course, this dude right there, Gunstreamer.com. You guys go check it out. Get up on there. Get your accounts.
Hey, thank you for having me. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for jumping in here at the last minute, man. We appreciate it. All right, guys, we're out of there. Stay right there, Austin. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.